So today I'm going to go over what we do to a vehicle when we get it in. This is a stock Suburban, and I'll go over all the maintenance stuff we do, cosmetic stuff, and let's get right into it. So this is an 04 Chevy Suburban Z71 package. It's their off-road package. First off, you'll notice the rust on the front bumper, and it does it to the rear bumper too. On these Z71s, it just, for some reason, these bumpers rust. It's the paint they used versus the chrome bumpers. And so on most of these, we'll either repaint them or replace the bumper. So that's just with the Z71. And then this is a typical, body condition that we'll get. We try to do our best. These are older vehicles, so it's getting harder and harder to find stuff that's, perfect, obviously. So you can see like on this one, there's a little crease right there. That's just dirt, but, and then do a walk around. But this is a very typical condition. We don't deal with, rusty bodies or anything like that. The undercarriage, will have surface rust most of the time, just typical, rust for year of these vehicles. But this is what you can expect for body-wise. Sometimes, you might find a little ding or a dent along the way, but very straight and ready to go. And as far as different conditions, and they're all we buy these in varying conditions. So like, for example, this window motor is not working, so it's either off track or the motor. We'll check it out here. So we fixed that. I had to drive it home with the window down the whole way, so it's all for you guys. And if the windshield's cracked, we replace the windshield, do different touch-ups. But that's a quick overview of, a typical body condition. So now I'll go over the mechanics that we'll do to this one. But first, I'll lift it up and get right into it. Okay, so now that we got it up in the air, we'll start doing different checks and inspections. The front end, is always a must to check on all of these. A lot of these, wheel bearings will go bad on these. It's a hub assembly, and they're, pretty easy to change, or a lot of people just kind of let them go. And so we'll shake down the tire. These ones feel good. If you do have a bad wheel bearing, you'll tell, and you can get a good wobble out of them. As far as steering components, so, inner and outer tie rod ends, we'll check everything there. Pitman arm, lower and upper ball joints, and those will be checked when it's on the ground. And if everything checks out, we'll get it aligned. If we need to change anything and everything is changed that isn't within spec, we go through, do a front differential service, change engine oil, transmission fluid, transfer case fluid, rear differential fluid, and then we'll check different things. So you got U-joints, you're checking everything. So we do a full inspection, and this is typical surface rust that you'll see from vehicles that we purchase. Nothing to be worried about. To worry about. Sorry. And we get a lot of clients from East Coast because out there cars are rotting, and this is nice for them. Anyway, so that's kind of what we do underneath here. We'll change everything, and then we'll do the lift and tires. And so these are just stock size tires on there now. We'll do something like this. These are a 285, 75, 16. They're actually going on another vehicle, but These are, we do 10-ply all-terrain tires. We can do a lot of different brands, and we can help out with that. And that's our client's choice of what type of tire they want. As far as the lift goes, we do new torsion keys right there, and new rear Moog HD coils for the rear with Bilstein 5100 shocks all around. And so that's the suspension upgrades. Here we are located in our office here. We keep a lot of our parts out front. For engine oil, we like using this Valvoline synthetic blend high mileage. We also use Valvoline for the transmissions. It's great stuff. We've had really good luck with it. And then as far as all the other parts, we use AC Delco. So, these are like cabin air filters. Here's some wire sets for, a couple of different variations of the 5.3. And then here's, iridium spark plugs, and, brake pads, air cleaners, all AC Delco. And then here's our suspension, shocks. Those are Bilstein 5100s. And then here's our Moog HD coil springs for the rear. And we use KYB too for stock vehicles, but for the lifted builds we go with Bilstein. So now we'll get into engine work. What engine work we do on all the vehicles. We do a standard tune-up, so plugs and wires. We use AC Delco stuff and fuel filter for the tune-up, and then we replace air cleaner, top off all the fluids, check everything, check for tensioner pulley noises and different stuff like that, and it's all ready to go. Some vehicles will need more work, like if a fuel pump is going out or whatever, instead of just ignoring it, we'll replace it ahead of time. Different stuff like that. We just did one actually a couple days ago, and on this one I'll kind of get into what happened with this, and this is very typical on test drives that a lot of you will probably relate with the experience that we go through a lot. So with buying cars on Craigslist, Marketplace, dealerships, you just have to be really careful. And if you're not really that mechanically inclined, you can get yourself hurt pretty bad. And so that's kind of where we come in. We take that out of the buying process, and that's why we can charge more for our vehicles. Yes, you can go buy one of these Suburbans for less than what we're selling it for. That's just the facts about it. But you will more than likely run into issues, and it'll cost you down, in the long run. So that's kind of our service that we offer. For example, this is very typical. On this vehicle, we bought it, and on the drive home, I was thrown a code, engine code. I read it, and I always read, the vehicle, when I do the test drive, and a lot of times they're not going to show up until you get some miles on the vehicle, or you get it up a certain RPM, certain temperature. There's a lot of things that goes into the computers on cars. So this one threw a knock sensor code, and not a big deal, for me, because we've done it before and we're used to them. But if you take it to a shop, they're going to get you, depending on where you go to, and you're going to look at around $1,000 for that fix, depending on where you go. And so that would have hurt someone if you would have just bought it private party by yourself. And but instead, we buy it, and we're going to fix it, and the client's not going to have that happen to them. And so that's one of the great things of using our service. So here's the typical repair for a knock sensor that we do. Here's the harness for the knock sensors. Here's the two knock sensors. It's only throwing a code for one, but while you're in there, you replace both of them. We use AC Delco, you know, original stuff. And then here's the upgraded intake manifold gasket. A lot of these will start to leak, the 5.3s and 6.0s, and this is a good upgrade. And not necessarily a maintenance thing, but if it is leaking, you go with the Fel Pro, the upgraded, and we're going to do this work on it. This also had TPMS for the tire monitoring system, and we take care of that. And any other weird stuff that comes up, it's all ready to go for the client. Here's a quick view of the interior. Interiors, come in varying conditions also, but we reupholster the seats if they need it, like that one. We're either going to repair that or need to reupholster it. They all get a full detail, and they're ready to go, when the client comes to pick it up. This one is an 04, so it has the newer interior. It's dirty though. So definitely, we detail it, get it all ready, and repair anything that needs to interior wise also. So I hope this helps with explaining what we do to each vehicle. Just a quick overview. All the mechanics are done to these things, and interior, exterior, so they all look great when they leave the building. We buy them in varying conditions, and but they all leave about the same. So that's kind of the service that we provide. And as far as process for clients, so usually a client will hop on our waiting list, reserve a completion date for whatever build they want. We have a lot of options, and then we'll start searching for the vehicle if we don't have one that they like that's in stock currently. So, for example, this one, we're still talking with clients to see if they want it or not, and we'll go from there. And so that's kind of the process of buying a sub-overland and the mechanics on it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and feel free to subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on Instagram and all that. But have a nice day.